Hello, I'm Paul. I first realised I had a hearing loss when I was in an office environment, a busy office environment, and with a lot of background noise, and I realised that people were talking to me and I wasn't picking up on it. I could hear them talking but didn't really specifically realise they were talking to me. Consequently, I was missing out on a lot of things, especially on meetings. I'd have to be looking at the people to realise what they were actually saying. So it put me as a subject of a lot of mickey taking, really. People deliberately start talking behind my back. Once they all started laughing, and I realised that was the expense of some sort of silly joke. I used to find that frustrating. One of them, as a joke, came back off holiday and they bought me an off-the-shelf hearing aid from either Hong Kong or Singapore or somewhere like that. I just used them, and they did work, but they weren't very good, and they certainly weren't very comfortable. I was introduced to Amplifon because of a friend of our group, was an audiologist, and she basically just started to talk about Amplifon for a little bit, and that's when I decided to go along and have a look and see what could be done. It wasn't how I expected it to be. I was expecting it to be very clinical, sort of a white building, somebody sat there with a white jacket on, and that's how I'd envisaged that it would be, almost like going to the dentist, sillily enough. So when I did get there, I was actually quite surprised on the look of the place, and how it was all laid out. No, I was pleasantly surprised, in fact. When the Amplifon offered me the free trial, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks, I can't remember now, but I had the opportunity to try them out for myself at work, to see how they worked in my car, to try out. I mean, you can try out the Bluetooth facility and that in the office, of course you can, but it's not the same as actually working at home, attending meetings, having especially at meetings, there's all sorts of things going on at these meetings. There's people all over the place, and having the facility to try them in that environment is far more realistic than anything that could be sort of imposed within the Amplifon Centre. As good as it is, because the speakers are everywhere and you could try all the different things, you never will get the same reality as actually going out to work, going out for a meal. A meal was another thing as well. That did amaze me, because before, when I used to go out for meals, it would almost irritate me, especially a busy restaurant, all the background noise and all this sort of stuff. Whereas the nice thing about these is that I can filter them down, and I can filter and concentrate on the person I'm sat opposite, as opposed to have the background interference really affecting me. Having these hearing aids has made me feel a lot more confident. As I say, I had the ones off the shelf previously, and they were always uncomfortable, and I was always conscious that somebody would see them. When I go to new environments and introduce myself to new people, they wouldn't be aware that that I even wear hearing aids, which is great. I wish I had got into contact with Amplifon much sooner, yeah, because it's just like when you come out of the opticians, you've got new glasses on, it's bang, it's just straight away such a vast improvement, and I was really stunned, I must admit, when I first had my hearing aids in and I actually went out and could hear things. I was absolutely stunned of how much I could hear, and how much I'd missed out on.